Welcome to today's information session on the Community Sponsorship Hub's new Higher Education Access Program for students of refugee background. Whether you're a student, parent, high school counselor, or community partner, we hope that you will leave the session with the answers you need to take the next step in applying to the program or supporting outreach to eligible student populations. A quick look at today's agenda. We will kick it off by providing you with a program overview, share student eligibility criteria and how to apply to the program, look at the program timeline, and show you how you can send questions after the information session. The goal of CSH's Higher Education Access Program for students of refugee background is to remove the barriers that too often prevent qualified students of refugee background who are unfamiliar with the US higher education system from pursuing an undergraduate degree. The Higher Education Access Program is not a traditional scholarship program, but aims at connecting participating colleges and universities with qualified students in their community or state who meet their academic admissions criteria, while supporting selected students from academic application to admission and enrollment and providing ongoing mentorship. The Community Sponsorship Hub is excited to launch this program in partnership with the Institute of International Education, who will coordinate the academic application, selection, and placement process. Every Camp is a Refuge, who will deliver a 6-month student mentorship program to students selected for the program, and the President's Alliance on Higher Education and Immigration, who will work with the Community Sponsorship Hub to build the capacity of participating institutions to welcome and support students placed at their institution. To roll out the program in the most efficient and sustainable manner, the program is launching in select states with the first student cohort beginning their studies in the 2026-2027 academic year. At this time, we look forward to receiving applications from students in the following states: Arizona, California, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Washington State, and Wisconsin. We hope that after a successful launch in year 1, the program will be able to expand to additional states in the future. We are also currently recruiting private and public institutions in these 18 states. So if you are attending today's information session and you know of an institution that would be a good fit for this program, please let us know. The program design is anchored around institutions' motivation and capacity to support students of refugee background who already reside in their states and communities. Students who meet the following criteria are eligible to apply. They must have arrived in the United States under the United States Refugee Admissions Program, or USRAP, or be a special immigrant visa holder. They must have arrived in the United States on or after January 1st, 2021. They must be a resident of one of the 18 pilot states and have lived in that state for a minimum of 1 year at the time of enrollment in fall 2026. They must be between 18 to 30 years old on or by August 1st, 2026, and pursue an undergraduate degree, a bachelor's, or an associate's. The program is not open to master or PhD programs, and students must hold a US high school degree or equivalent from another country translated into English, or be a current high school senior graduating by June 15th, 2026. I will now give it to my colleague to walk us through the second part of the presentation.
Thank you. So although students selected for the program will not receive direct financial support from the program will offer the following support to ensure higher education is affordable and to remove barriers to accessing higher education. So first, there is the coverage of tuition costs. So participating institutions commit to ensuring full coverage of tuition for the duration of a student's study. Institutions may use a combination of in-state tuition rates, state and federal financial aid, such as Pell Grants, work-study opportunities, and institutional and/or state scholarships to meet their commitment. Students should not be required to take on student loans to cover the cost of their tuition, but may need to take on loans to cover living expenses or other costs related to their education. Academic application support. So students interested in the program must fill out an initial short application. This will not be a traditional university or college application, but a more accessible version that will help us verify students' technical and academic eligibility and qualifications. Students who are accepted to the program will receive support from the Institute of International Education, IIE, in filling out their complete college application, including an application workshop that will help guide students through the Common App, collecting letters of recommendation, writing a college essay, and other relevant topics. Academic matching and placement. So students selected for the program must complete their academic application by early December. IIE will submit students' complete academic application package to participating colleges and universities on students' behalf and secure admission at one of the participating institutions. IIE will make placements based on best academic and overall fit, combined with geographic consideration, trying to place students accepted to the program as closely as possible to their home community. Mentorship. Between January to June 2026, students selected for the program will take part in a monthly mentorship program provided by Every Campus a Refuge, or ECAR. The mentorship program will be mandatory for all selected students and will offer sessions designed to support students' academic, professional, and personal success. Topics will include applying for federal financial aid, an introduction to the American higher education system and college classroom, academic writing and research skills, and other relevant topics. And lastly, there's the campus support group. So participating campuses commit to designating at least 3 staff and/or faculty members to serve as key points of contact, providing guidance around academic and career planning, financial aid assistance, and access to campus and community resources to help students thrive on and off campus. As previously mentioned, the Higher Education Access Program for students of refugee background is not a typical scholarship program. The goal of the program is to remove barriers to accessing higher education for students of refugee background while ensuring that students have access to affordable education for the duration of their studies. While the program is not able to provide direct financial support to participating institutions or students, we are committed to a financial model that will make a higher education degree affordable and attainable for students. The program requires participating institutions to ensure the annual cost for tuition and any mandatory fees are covered for the duration of a student's study. This can be achieved by leveraging a combination of in-state tuition, state and federal financial aid, such as Pell Grants, scholarships, tuition waivers, grants, work-study opportunities, or on-campus employment. Students should not be required to take on student loans to cover the cost of their tuition. The program does not require participating institutions to cover students' housing, food, and other living expenses, but encourages participating institutions to offer as much financial and/or in-kind support to students as possible. The program will prioritize academic placements in students' communities and states to make the program financially feasible for selected students and participating institutions. All right, so we hope that by now you are interested in participating or are ready to share this information with students in your network. So I want to walk through the details of what the application process looks like. So the student application will be open from October 1st to October 22nd of 2025. And the initial program application will be short and easy to complete. And all students must apply through IIE's online portal, which is linked on our website. To prepare for the application, students should gather documentation that verifies their date of arrival and class of admission to the United States, including but not limited to the I-94 arrival/departure record. This is the recommended document to upload as it meets both criteria by including both the date of arrival and the class of admission. And we have a link in the application showing how to obtain the I-94 if you don't already have it on hand. But additional examples of documentation for verifying eligibility include the lawful permanent residency card showing eligible SIV or refugee category code, the Department of State transportation letter stamped for those who arrived under US RAP, a passport showing an eligible special immigrant visa category code and admission stamp, and a notice of special immigrant visa approval for individuals who have not yet received their lawful permanent residency card. Additionally, students will need to gather documentation verifying state residency, for example, a state ID or other form of residency documentation, such as a bank statement, official letter carrying your address, etc. Additionally, the other documents that students should prepare for their application are academic documents. These include any English language test scores, if applicable, such as TOEFL, the Duolingo English test, or IELTS. All available academic records, including transcripts from 4 years of secondary school, national exam results, if applicable, and any post-secondary coursework, if applicable, as well as any available standardized test scores, including the SAT, SAT2, and ACT. And please note that students interested in the program who do not reside in one of the identified states are not eligible to apply for the program at this time. So by mid-November, students will be notified of acceptance into the program. Please note, students selected to the program must still complete their full academic application package and will be required to participate in an application support workshop led by IIE to complete their full academic application. The complete application package includes the Common App, college essay, letters of recommendation, and all relevant academic and immigration status documentation. Students must submit their complete academic application to IIE in early December and will receive ongoing guidance and support throughout the process. Students who fail to attend the application support workshop and who do not complete the full academic application in time will be disqualified from the program. Between December 2025 and March 2026, IIE will facilitate academic placements on behalf of selected students. As previously mentioned, the program will prioritize placement of selected students in their community or state. Students may indicate in the application that they're open to out-of-state placements, in which case students may be placed at institutions outside of their current state of residency. And I know that there were quite a few steps over the last few slides, so we wanted to conclude with a quick recap of the program timeline over the upcoming weeks and months. So first, from October 1st to 22nd, the IIE application portal will be open. So during that time, students can submit their application to the program. As a reminder, this will not be a traditional university or college application, but a more accessible version that will help the program to verify students' technical and academic eligibility and qualifications. Then in mid-November, CSH and IIE will notify candidates of acceptance into the program. In November and December, IIE will hold the mandatory academic application workshop and provide ongoing guidance to students as they complete their full academic application. Then from December to March, IIE will facilitate the matching and placement process with admissions offers finalized in March. Additionally, starting in January, selected students will participate in the student mentorship program led by our partners at Every Campus a Refuge. And lastly, in fall 2026, the first cohort of students will begin their studies at our partner institutions. So if you have any additional questions after watching this info session, we encourage you to reach out to our program team at the email listed here, campus@communitysponsorshiphub.org. We wanted to say thank you very much for your interest in the program, and we hope to have the chance to work with you very soon.